Yeah? And then some trig stuff and some volumes of revolution. And then I'm just going to drill you on U sub versus parts. Okay. Zero, one. Okay. Fine. Area between oh, that would be awful. No, let's do an easy one. Well, yeah, let's do this one. And x squared over 1 to 1. Are you okay? Do you guys know your steps on this? Whenever it tells me to find the area between the curves, I always set the curves equal to each other to see where they cross. I don't need to know what the graph looks like, I just need to know where they cross. So, if x cubed equals x squared, I would subtract them all to this side. X cubed minus x squared equals 0. I'm going to factor an x squared out. X minus 1 equals 0. Then I set each part of my equation equal to 0. X squared equals 0. X minus 1 equals 0. So I get x equals 0 and x equals 1. Those are the places they cross. Everyone with me so far? Mm-hmm. So that just means that I'm going to go from -1 to where they cross, and then from where they cross to 1. If it had gone to 2, I would do 3 integrals. That's a lot of integrating. Yeah, what's that?
But even if that's not in your bound, like if you get 1, you still have 3 integrals? Like if you got a 2 and that's not in -1 to 1?
No, I meant if this was
okay.
2. Okay, I'm just going to pick x cubed to be on top. And I'm picking that because it's wrong. It's the wrong graph on top. And I want to show you that it doesn't matter which one's on top. I'm just going to get a negative number. Every time they cross, the graphs cross at 0, I just switch which one's on top. That's all I do. I'm going to get the right answer. It just will come out negative if I pick the wrong one to be on top. I'm lazy. I don't want to have to graph it and figure out which one's on top. That's way too much work. You guys with me? Excellent. What's the integral of x cubed?
3x squared.
I can't write today.
My bad.
I know what you meant. Okay, if I put 0 in, I'm going to get 0, right?
Yep.
Minus, if I put -1 in, -1 to the 4th is 1. -1 cubed is -1. Right? So far, so good? Now this side, I'm going to have a 1/3 x cubed minus a 1/4 x to the 4th from 0 to 2. I'm going to put the 2 in. So I have a 1/3. Oh, I'm sorry, that's a 1. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Yeah.
Sorry. So I have a 1/3 minus a 1/4. Is that okay?
Yep.
Minus 0. And these are added together. Now, if it was more complicated than this, like this is a pretty straightforward one, I usually just do half the equation, and then this half of the equation, and then add my answers at the end. Because I get confused when I have too much stuff going on. Is that okay?
Hey, Michelle,
Yeah.
there's still some confusion about how you know which one goes first on 0 to -1. Could you just restate that? Like,
It
Why?
doesn't matter.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Pick your favorite and then switch it every time they cross.
You're absolute.
Hold on, he had his hand up.
So if you did x cubed minus x squared again on the second one,
That would
you
be
do-
bad.
So you always have to switch
You have to switch it
every time.
every time.
Okay.
Technically, that's not true. There are other ways to do it, but I'm just teaching you one way.
Can you do absolute value stuff?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, guys, please pay attention so I don't have to say this 8 more times. Is everyone focusing? Okay.
Hey Michelle, do you have to switch it when you do over 0?
I'm not going to answer that right now. Let me finish. Okay, you all focusing? Okay, I have 2 functions. It doesn't matter which one I put on top first. As long as every time they cross, and they crossed at 0 and 1, I switch which one's on top. If you don't want to remember that, do one integral and just take the absolute value at the very end of that whole integral. And then the other integral, absolute value at the end of that whole integral. I don't like teaching the absolute values because most of you get it wrong. So I like this way better because more of you get it right. Now your question about the 0 thing? No,
Don't need to switch it?
don't need to switch it.
What if you do?
Only if they cross. Okay? Are we ready yet? I'm gonna just keep going because I'm getting bored. I'm gonna get a common denominator of 12. This needs a common denominator of 12. This would be negative 7/12 plus 1/12. Something's weird. This half is 1/12. This half needs to be positive. Hold on. If I put in 0, if I put in negative 1, here's what I'm thinking, guys. This is one area, and this is the other area. So they both need to come out to be the same sign. Did I do it wrong? If I put 0 in, if I put negative 1 in, positive, positive, negative 7/12, right? If I put 1 in, I did switch which one was on top. 1/3 minus 1/4, that's a positive 1/12. I would do absolute value. Let me explain what I'm talking about. This graph, I don't really know what it looks like. Well, that's a really bad drawing. I know that it crosses at 0 and I know it crosses at 1. And I'm getting this area plus this area. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
This area came out as negative. Can I have a negative area?
No.
That's why I took absolute value of that part. If I added them together first, it would be too small. 8 divided by 4, 12 divided by 4. Pretty sure that's right. That kind of makes sense? Who's more confused than before?
I have a quick question.
Yeah, Rafa.
Right here when you're saying you switch the top, can you expand on that?
They always teach you to do top function minus bottom function. That's why they want you to know how to graph them, even though I never graph them, except for to help you guys see it. So we said that x cubed was on top, and then we had to switch which one's on top because they crossed at 0, so it switches which one's on top.
Okay.
Tell me your name.
Brandon.
Sorry?
Brandon.
Brandon.
I know that we switched those and they should come out as the same sign on the bottom, but if they don't and we switch and we did it correctly, can we just assume to put absolute values on them?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got to do this whole side absolute values and this whole side absolute values. What people mess up on the absolute values is like if I put absolute values here, they go through and make everything positive. That's wrong. You got to subtract it first and then do absolute value.
So it's the very last.
Let's do another example. Yeah? Try this one. Find the area between... Oh, this is a good one. X squared and 2x.
Michelle, can you write it down a little bit better?
Oh, yeah. Are we okay so far, guys? What's our step 1? Why are we setting them equal? We do need to find out where they cross. I'm going to give you bounds just because I think these are the hardest ones when you have to switch which one's on top. Does that make sense? I think it's harder when you have to split it.